Alright folks, welcome to the next installment of Olin-Q. We'll be smoking a pork butt tomorrow. I'm going to show you how I prep it the night before. This is basically a Boston butt, aka shoulder roast. If you look at this side, basically this side right here, you'll see the grain of the meat running like this. That's going to be your money muscle. This is going to be the best part of the pork roast. I'm going to make slices out of this tomorrow, and for anybody who's interested in competition barbecue, I'll show you how that's done. This side, whoa! Have to edit that out. On this side of the roast, this is commonly what they make pork steaks out of. This is more of a like a ham. And what you can do, actually, there's a spot here where the cartilage goes around. I could actually make slices out of this too. I just would cut this fat off and trim it around there, and I can get slices out of this too. But for tomorrow, I'm just gonna shred this part up for pork sandwiches and have slices. Okay, I'll show you how to prep this up. Okay, the money muscle side, what we're going to do is keeping the knife flat as possible. What we want to do is get as much fat as possible off, because the rub will not take the fat very good at all. Okay, we're going to open the money muscle up so we can season it all the way around. Tomorrow I'll show you how I have a temperature gauge in it. Basically this part right here, this money muscle, it's going to be removed probably after about smoking for two to 3 hours. It'll be done before the rest of the pork butt. Alrighty, basically we'll start about 3 inches back for the money muscle, and we'll basically keep the knife flat and remove the fat cap off the bottom. And we're going to get a good coat of rub on there. The rest of this on the bottom, we're going to leave all this. We're not going to mess with this at all. We're just going to get as much of this fat off as possible so we can get some good bark on this. There we go. I think we're about good now. Alrighty.
What is really so interesting right now, Steve, is if you look at the polls on Donald Trump and Joe Biden, you know, Donald Trump's numbers are okay, they're not great, he's somewhere in the middle. But the one issue that really resonates with me when I look at the polls of the American people, when you ask the American people this key question, Steve, who do you trust more to rebuild the American economy, Donald Trump or Joe Biden? Donald Trump wins that by 13 percentage points. Donald Trump wins this election because Americans do not trust the Democrats. They do not trust the lockdown party to rebuild our economy. Yeah, and he's right. So, I mean, and
All right, the pork butt is all trimmed up. The next step in the process, you would rub your hands over it like this. What we're doing is we're checking for any sort of bone fragments or cartilage that's on the pork butts, because nobody wants a bone sliver that the butcher cut out. Nobody wants to go to the dentist on Memorial Day for a good barbecue. All right, if you look here carefully, you can show them this. Right here, I almost separated the money muscle. It's basically trimmed up on all three sides, how I opened it on the bottom. What I'm going to do is season, and the smoke is going to hit this muscle all the way around. So we're going to have bark on all three sides of this money muscle. And I'll show you tomorrow when it's cooking. I'm going to actually cut this off, because it's going to be done a lot quicker than this big chunk of meat. And it'll be ready to go. Let me get one more. I don't like this piece right here. There. Maybe a little bit more fat off the back. There. Alrighty. Alright, next step in the process, we're going to inject it. I already made the injection. It's in the refrigerator. It's basically 1 quart of apple juice, 1 tablespoon of hot sauce, and half a cup of brown sugar. I'll usually make it a day ahead of time. I'll boil it till all the brown sugar is melted, and then we'll get it into the fridge to cool it down, because you don't want to inject a hot juice into cold meat. So step 2, we're going to inject her as much juice as we can get in this bad boy. We're going to get it.
Board.
All right, here we go. We're ready for the injection. What we're going to do is we're going to take the pork butt and we're going to put it inside this pan here. Okay, move this out of the way. All right. We got a mini hotel pan. I put 2 of them in there. If you look on the bottom, I have a wadded up piece of foil to keep the meat off the bottom of the pan. Alright. Here's my injection, which I pre-made, and my handy dandy barbecue injection tool. Alright, keep that in there, bud. Alright, we're priming her up. Here we go. Alright, she's ready to rock. Alright, what we're going to do, if you watch, you'll see the meat blow up. Got to be careful. You don't want this stuff shooting you in the eye.
It'll hurt.
Yeah. It's got hot sauce in there. It'll light you up. Ooh.
That hurts.
We want to get as much of this juice in this meat as we can. Okay. We're injecting at a downward angle, remember, and we're following the grain of the meat. It's best if you're going to do an injection to do it the night before, so this flavor gets to sit in there and marinate the meat. Oh, right. Okay, time for the good part. Remember, the grain of this is running this way in the... Oh no, I ripped it a little. See that meat blowing up? I don't know if you can take much more juice. This was an 8.5 pork pound, but to start off with. All right, I don't think she can take any more. Yep, it's all just running out. Okay, pause. All right, the last step before tomorrow is we're gonna season her up, let the spices set overnight. What we want to do is first we want to turn it upside down, and we want to season the bottom side first, because we don't want any of the juice that's from the injection to wash any of our rub off. Okay. Take my glove off. One hand with my glove on to touch the meat now. And the first thing you're going to do, apply some, any kind of vegetable oil. I'm using olive oil. So that, rub it here. The first thing I'm going to do, this is my wife's cousin. He invented this rub. It's pretty good. I never tried it on pork butt, but I'm going to give it a whirl this time. Alright. Apply a medium coat on the meat. Now when you're always applying rub, there's one golden rule. If you see the rub on here now, you never want to rub meat in, because look, now my rub is over there. What you want to do is just press it down into the meat. You never want to actually rub in, you just want to press it. Okay. Alright, here's a little special trick. This right here is just smoke and apple flavor. What I'm going to do is basically a light coat of this to enhance the flavor even more. And this will enhance the flavor of the apple juice from the injection even more. And then what we're going to do is a very light coat of a little smoked hickory and honey sea salt. Just a very little bit. This is going to And then remember, you press it lightly and you don't rub it. Alrighty. And now, flipping it over. Oopsie daisy. You see that foil down here? It's keeping the meat out of all that juice, so the rub doesn't get washed off. There. Alrighty, the same thing. Little extra version. Alright. She's all oiled up and ready to go. Same thing as before, we get the rub, apply a medium coat. Okay, lightly, just press straight down, don't rub it. Then for our apple smoke, and last but not least, a little honey hickory salt. There. All right, she's ready to go. What we're going to do now is cover it with saran wrap, throw it in the refrigerator overnight, and then tomorrow she's ready to go on the grill and get smoked up. All right, folks, all you veterans out there, happy Memorial Day. This one's for you.